Hello, everybody. It's Steve Smith, editor of PHC News Magazine, and we're coming again live at our booth here at AHR Expo. The show has been open maybe 2 hours now, 2.5 hours, and the attendance looks very good. I have not been able to get out much, but I can see a lot of people walking back and forth on the aisles. The show looks very, very good, and it's a good thing that we're all back together after 2 long years that we could not get together. My next guest is from Raypak. Lyndal Moore is the National Sales Manager of Raypak.
Morning.
Thanks for coming by. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, how long you've been in the industry, those good things.
I've been in the business for around, I'd say 20 plus years. I've worked for a lot of different global companies. I'm really glad to be, I've been at Raypak for 4 years, and just really, I was trying to think, I think last time I was here in Vegas, I'm from Kansas City, and we got the first time the airport had ever been shut down by snow, and we were stranded in Vegas.
Really?
Worst place to be stranded in after an AHRI show. I'm kind of trying to think what year that was, but
well, I think we were here like 5 years ago.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I don't remember snow. It didn't stop me from getting home, but
yeah,
I guess did you?
No, we never shut the airport down. I remember.
Yeah, I remember
that.
there's been strong winds before when I've driven out here, like 40, 50 mile an hour winds. That stops planes from landing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you can make it home. I'm glad you can make it here.
I made it back.
Wanted
to come back. You bet.
Good.
Bet.
Well, what's going on at Raypak's booth? What can you tell about new products?
You know what? We're very excited. Being part of the Ream, Raypak's under the Ream umbrella.
Yeah.
We're at booth 2511 today. We're showing our new core product line. It's we're very excited about that platform. It's a new heat exchanger that was really driven out of a voice of customer. As customers talk about what they'd want to see in a next generation boiler.
Yeah.
A lot of it was down about size and getting into tight spaces and various from how you get it onto a job and how many you can put in there. And as we all know, real estate's a premium inside a mechanical room. So this one was really the first project that was really kind of a Ream engineering, Raypak engineering together, as using all their technology and modeling. And we designed a system, a very innovative fire tube that allows us to put a tremendous amount of more BTUs in a small footprint.
Small package, yeah.
And so when we talked about what they wanted in that type of product and what we were going to do, of course it was the size. Size matters. But we didn't really know what we could get out of it till we went all the way through this process. And what turned out is now we're able to get 40. Our boiler, this new boiler over here, it's 4 million BTUs, and we can get it through a 36-inch door on a pallet jack. And so it's not only the size and the width, it's the height. And so those all came out of our customers and what they wanted to see. And so. It turns out it's, after all the math's done, it's about 45% smaller than the leading competitor out there. So, that is really the final piece of this, what we call our XBurst platform. We call it XBurst Core.
Yeah.
The XBurst was kind of phase one, and it had our dynamic control and our Versa control package on there. And both those things were, is what makes Raypak different, and this is the final piece of that kind of makes it one of the most innovative boiler packages that on the market.
Good. We've been talking about a lot of different names. I want to make sure we're summing it up correctly. The core fire tubic heat exchanger is inside the XBurst boiler.
It is.
Yeah.
That is exactly right. We're making that in Oxnard, California.
Okay.
Manufactured.
On top of that, you got the Versa controls.
That's right. It's all one. It's all one package.
All one package. Much smaller than the old package.
It's much smaller than the old package. Size matters. Yeah.
How? I'm just kind of curious how that all came to be. Is there some R&D stories that you could tell us about? I mean, it's quite a significant change.
It is. We started down this process and we kind of revamped Raypak in the last 6 or 7 years. We started down a process, and with that, we hired a bunch of engineers with a bunch of new ideas, and we couldn't get it all at once, so we kind of developed it in phases. So we knew we wanted to make, there's so many changes going on in electronics and just controls out there that we want to modernize that, and then we moved on to how we want to protect it, and so we modernized that, and so that was kind of phase one. And then when we really focused on, we just couldn't get the design that we wanted, and so we wanted to manufacture it ourselves here in the U.S., and and that's where we started reaching out to our other sister companies, really looking at what they've done and their technology,
right.
shared technology, and then we kind of came up with a design that we saw what was possible.
Okay.
And our engineers really put it to the paces, and we just came out of testing, and we're very it's really a one company, for our first one company project from the Raypak side.
Very good. Under kind of the Rheem umbrella, I guess.
They we just used all the Rheem resources we
yes.
we really harnessed them all together. So it was really very exciting for all of us.
Now, I hate to bring up the pandemic, but because it seems like old news, but then there's always new news about it. So how did that affect your company, and what's come out of that? I guess in a positive way.
Well, just like everybody else, kind of left us a little flat-footed.
Mm-hmm.
We really, the whole world is running on just in time as a global company, and then procurement, just global procurement and component shortages have just been a challenge, and then to throw some of the transportation things in there has just really been a challenge. It's really made us look at how our we had the time sitting in our office a lot of time looking at things. We really take a look at how we would want to reinvent our go-to-market strategy.
Yeah. And can you tell me a little more about?
Yeah. So a couple of things. One, we just couldn't. We left our customers exposed in a just-in-time where more normally we could build you anything, and if you waited long enough, you could get it, and within a reach. And we're pretty steady on that. But when the pandemic hit, everything was erratic. They needed it faster. Our whole chain kind of broke down from our customers who served the contractors in the market. So right now we're opening up 5 different warehouses, stocking warehouses. Mm-hmm. We've kind of reconfigured of our most popular, what we think, our most popular products, so that we can get them across the U.S.
Okay.
So to serve different applications, move products around instead of having to wait for them to be built. It's a big endeavor. We have 2 of those open now. We'll have 3 more of those open by July. And so
that's designed to cover the United States.
It is. So we're looking to go from kind of a national play to a regional play, and then we'll be counting on our partners to really absorb that local play.
Okay. And I know another thing that kind of came out of the pandemic is something that we talked about before the cameras went live, and that was the remote. So what can you tell us about that?
So the logistics side of it is one, and operations one side of it, but the other side of that was when we couldn't, when we would have these, there's a lot of people that depend on heat and just different products out there in the market. And when things go bad, they depend on the manufacturer to get there. And we couldn't get guys on an airplane. And so we had a tool that we launched a couple years ago that we had been just monitoring, to me, I would look at it and I'd say, oh great, another app on my phone, it's neat and stuff like that. But when you really look down and what we needed we really required it turned out it's the best tool we had in our toolbox.
Yeah.
We could see what was going on there. We could isolate our boilers from the system. And if it was, in one particular area where we had a problem in upstate New York, there was a problem there. We couldn't, it was 30 below, we couldn't get there. We couldn't get our guys out of California there. It was that kind of critical heat. But what we could see is what was going on with that job, and we found out that it wasn't our problem, it was a system problem. But with that, we found that we could write a custom program for our controller, send it through to help adapt to cover up the problem. So after that, between that and another big job we had that kind of went down at the same time, we had to take a breath, and we really looked at what we could see, how we could influence, how we could do it. And now we consider that, we consider it more of like a medical monitoring system. You would never do surgery, you never open somebody up to do surgery without, doing their vital signs. Now we can do that. We would never go to a job or send somebody out until we studied what was going on with it. It's really changed the way we had, and we had it in the toolbox the whole time. That's what's so amazing.
Yeah, so troubleshooting, nothing new, but you can find out more stuff before you even get to the job.
It's monitoring. Time, especially in Chicago. We just one of our partners in Chicago said, they have to set their techs in traffic to get down there. They can burn 2 or 3 hours driving to a job just to see what's going on there. Right. Now they can see what's going on before they ever get up there. So it's just we're all changing, how the world's changing. And we're using these things, finally learning, getting these things together, making them, again, a screwdriver was the one you'd reach for first.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be remote. You're got remote monitoring, whether it's ours or somebody else's, it's just changing how we look at things.
Good. Well, very good. Is there anything else along those lines that you can mention?
I'm sure there's a lot. But,
well, that's good enough.
Those are the most impactful things that I can think of right now. That's really got us going on there. So
over and above new products that we can see at your booth. By the way, what is your booth number?
2511.
C2511.
C2511.
Okay.
Yeah, 2511.
Yeah, I think we have a booth visit with you guys either today or tomorrow. I'm not quite sure, but we're getting over there.
Yeah.
We'll see you. But what about other than products? What are some of the bigger trends that are impacting the industry that you see?
Well, I mean, when you take a look at what's going on, decarbonization, what we used to talk about it, I've worked for some other companies that's pretty big into the heat pump and geothermal world, and we always peripherally, thought that day was coming, but that day's coming faster than you're seeing electric cars and you're seeing an infrastructure build out, you're seeing windmills when you drive through the country, you see windmill electricity's here, and decarbonization is going to be a part of that. And so we're looking at, as a company who primarily makes natural gas or propane, what that's going to look like our business. And so, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at what next generation products are going to look like. And fortunately, we have more of a global footprint with being under the Rheem umbrella. We're looking at, so we can scour the globe and see best practices, and we're looking prepared to launch and get into that market in the future. And we're showing some products here. Yeah. So it's a day that I personally I thought I knew it was coming, but we always thought it was coming, but I really believe it's as fast as it's picking up, and I think I haven't walked the show yet, but I'm very excited to see other manufacturers in our industry, what they're doing, and we're all trying to trying to fix the problem or be part of the solution. Right. And so it's exciting time in that area. Right. Decarbonization, electrification of everything, I guess is the catchphrase. You see that more and more, faster and faster. We are. And we see more money behind it. We're seeing more space age products 5 years ago, but they're quite practical nowadays. But back in the 70s, there was solar was jumped in there, and then the geothermal guys were jumping in there, and then there's a lot of heat pump. Then it kind of died out a little bit, but those days are back, and all those practices and now you're seeing this new you're seeing the next generation of controls, and then some new added technology and science, and it's very exciting times. It'll be interesting what our industry looks like in the next 10 years. Absolutely. And those 10 years are going to be a lot more changes than the previous 10, I guess. Yeah. I can't remember the last 10, I can't remember the last 10. And you mentioned with the Rheem international footprint as it is, I mean, are there other electric boiler products that you maybe foresee coming to the United States that maybe are made somewhere in Europe, for example, or Asia? Heat pump water heaters pump water heaters is a big part of our business in Australia. Right. So instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, we can pull some of that technology and best practices over here, and we'll be launching here this year very soon under the Raypak brand and Rheem brand. And that'll be the first. Those are good, solid solutions and good, solid, fundamental. Those are proven concepts, and then as we enter into to take a look at those, what the system's needs are for the future, we'll be developing that next generation of stuff. Very good. Well, any final words of wisdom? You've given us quite a lot already. Yeah. Is there anything else I haven't asked you, or that you'd like to bring up to wrap it up? It's a very exciting time for Rheem and Raypak. We're very proud of the products and our people, and I'll give you that there. Our investment in the people has really made the difference, and the products will come along with that, and then the processes will make us easier to do business with, and I'm looking forward to the future. And I'm looking forward to this show and seeing what some other great competitors. We learn from everybody, and it's just a great time to be in this industry. Perfect. And just to finish up, no, please. it makes you, if you set out a year, it makes you really appreciate shows like this and getting together with everybody.
That's true. Yeah, same. I mean, we were at some conventions last year that hadn't taken place for a couple of years as well.
Right.
So yeah, it's always good to see faces again.
It is. You can only do so much through a screen. It's really good to get together.
That's true. Very good. Well, let's wrap it up there, and I appreciate your time, and
I appreciate the opportunity.
we'll stop by your booth, C2511, to see what's new later on today, and we'll go from there.
All right.
Thanks
well,
again.
thank you, Steve.
Thanks for the time.
No problem.
We're going to take another little bit of a break before we come back with our next interview.